That's your guys' book, Away Game. I personally have gone through it once already. I'm going through it again, and I'm using it in our FCA leagues for all of our parents. Can you guys just give us a 30,000-foot view, Brian, of what is the book?
Yeah, we're having two parallel conversations in the book, specifically for Christian parents. The first one is we're helping them see essentially what's wrong with what we call the youth sport industrial complex. We want them to be wide-eyed and have language and categories for what they're seeing as their kids are involved in youth sports, because the youth sports industrial complex is a formation machine. It is
Mm.
discipling both us and our kids. And Romans 12 is going to tell us not to be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of our minds. And so it starts with that of like, we need to understand how the youth sports system is discipling us and training us and forming us. But then the second part of the conversation is we don't just want to throw all sports out the window. There's actually incredible opportunities for us as Christians if we begin to see it with different metrics and different perspectives, that we can actually take advantage of the beautiful opportunity that sports provides to do what God tells us to do with our kids, and that's to disciple them and raise them up in the favor of the Lord. And so it's both here's what's going on in youth sports, but also here's how you can take that and use it to disciple your kids.
That's awesome, Brian. Ed, can you share with us what prompted you and Brian to collaborate on this and actually put this book into action?
Well, the why is that we needed it for ourselves. I mean, we've used this language now for years. Around 8, 9 years ago, when we both started coaching and our kids were all involved at all different levels of youth sports, we just looked around and said, we need some help for how to think about this as a Christian. Again, we just get on the train's moving fast. We do sport ministry. We're both athletes in our background. Our wives are athletes. So we think we understand this thing. And yet the train was moving fast and it was going in directions we didn't fully understand or even want, and weren't exactly sure what to do all the time. But maybe more importantly, we were just getting caught up in creating an environment that wasn't healthy for the kids. And we could kind of feel that intuitively. And so the subtitle of the book is A Christian Parent's Guide to Navigating Youth Sports. And it came about because we needed that. And just, we know that there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of other Christian parents who are feeling the same tensions that we were feeling. And so we just wanted to, again, tap into our decades of ministry with college athletes, our years as coaches, our years as players ourselves, our years as parents, the things we were hearing from other, experts in the field who'd been thinking about it for a long time, both inside the church and outside the church, and see, could we put that in a, accessible format to at least get the conversation going in Christian parent circles, in the church, in FCA, in Christian schools, Upward, the YMCA. There's all these
Mhm.
different
Come on.
venues where Christian parents are hanging out and are being confronted with the same realities that we've been feeling for the last decade. So that's where it came from.
Man, that's so good. And I love the subtitle, how the word guide is in it. I'm a sucker for words. I love words. I think, words create worlds. And what you guys have created is exactly what the subtitle says. It's a guide for a parent. I have a 9 and a 7-year old, and I can tell you right now that I'm trying to implement some of these at the end of each chapter, right? You guys have some incredible resources that might seem simple, but they're super practical and they're a lot harder to live out with my own kids from the sideline as a coach,
Right on.
as a leader
Yep.
of a sports organization. So I think it's a much needed, because I don't think there's anything else out there like your guys' book that is so practical, and you can apply it right away. It's pretty special what you guys have written.
Mm.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Troy.
there's definitely other books out there about youth sports, but not that's like distinctly Christian.
Yeah.
That's from a biblical perspective.
Yep.
And the guide word was intentional. Even when we were pitching the book to the publisher, we had this image of kind of youth sports kind of puts us on this, like we're whitewater rafting without a guide, and everybody's just on the river and it's chaotic. And we just thought, what we need is not to get everybody off the river, because it's still going to keep going. What we need is a guide to help us navigate the crazy waters that are ahead of us.